Instantaneous, huh? Now, chapter 21. Let's see if we really want to do this. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Sounds like this is God still talking to Moses here. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. Wow. In other words, another family would probably rent a person to him for money. But God says you're only going to keep him for 6 years. Wow. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Check this out. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Wow, I'm not going to go all through this. Now, I told you about reading this and putting it in here. I haven't remembered this in a long time. But I know what happens in the rest of this chapter. It's fantastic. But that's not my story tonight. I'm not going to get into that part. That's a different avenue that I have to go down. What I'm trying to bring to you is I put this in many times because I read this book a whole bunch of times. But it covered a lot of years. And this is not one spot where I read every year. It's only once in a while. But I've read it a number of times. And he brought it to my remembrance. As soon as that part came out, wow, I know what he's talking about. Now, if you are a member of a congregation, chances are you're going to go worship on a Sunday, right? And you go over there, and the preacher's doing some preaching up in the front, and he's telling you stuff. I want to tell you this. Jesus says, search the scriptures and see if it's true. All right? Don't just take them at their word, because a lot of it doesn't even come close to the truth. It's the exact opposite. It's untrue. A lot of what's said up there. You remember that preacher that you saw a couple of times on TV when the communist Muslim was a president? This is the place where he went to worship. I think it was a black church. And that preacher, I heard him say, instead of God bless America, he came right out and said, God damn America. That's the guy that Barack Obama sat in front of for years. So everything that scumbag said, the communist Muslim ate it right up. And then behind the scenes, do you think the communist Muslim opened up the Holy Scriptures and read from that book? Nah, it was probably that other book that his father had. The black guy from Africa, probably the Koran. I bet he knows the Koran. He knows how to kill the infidel. That's what's going on in America. We have a purpose. The godly people do. The ones who read the book and pray to the one and only God, the living God. Yes, and his name is Jehovah. I hear about Jehovah. There's one denomination out there that just recognizes Jehovah, but I think Jehovah is one of his names, among others. I got a list in this book with all the names. I'll have to look that up and see. Listen, America is going to come on hard times sometime in the future. It's going to be bad. You're going to have to prepare for it. Read the Word of God. Turn from sin. Get yourself some weapons, some handguns, some rifles, bow and arrow, if you like that. Learn how to use them safely. Always obey the laws, even if you don't think they're right. Obey the laws. Learn how to hunt. You might have to hunt for food. But above all, you will have to defend yourself. That's what's coming. You see what's going on over there in Arab land? They're killing people all the time. They don't do it nice. They're doing it bad, and they want to do it to you. If you are a true American, if you're at a football game, and you hear the national anthem played, and you stand and give allegiance to the flag and the proper reverence to our fallen heroes, you're American. If you don't, and most of them people are black, they are not African American. They are just American or African. What would you say? In my opinion, anybody that calls himself an African American is just an African. I mean, I got a background, from my ancestors from a different country. We all do, unless we're Indians. We all do. But that's not how we refer to ourselves. We say we're Americans. I've asked this question before. How can a 70-year-old man, a 70-year-old black man, born in Baltimore, Maryland, or any of them other places that they destroyed, how can he be born in Baltimore, Maryland 70 years ago and today call himself an African American? It's not true. Either you are American or you're not. Now I'm gonna shut this off because I got to spend a little more time here. But I'm going to do it by myself, without the light. As God says, here it is right here. Let's see what he was saying. All these things that he says. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings. Now a peace offering in our day and time doesn't necessarily mean burning up something, you know? You need to offer something good to God, a promise. But if you make a vow with God, you got to keep it. So you got to think about this before you do it. You do something good continuously where He can see it on a regular basis and worship Him properly on the Sabbath. This is what He says He will do for you. I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. That's God talking, not me. Now, I don't sit here and try to do something foolish like saying a 5-minute prayer like a lot of the clowns do. That's useless. I can't help you personally. I can only show you the direction. It's right here. It's all in this book. It's a lot of reading, man. Sometimes I used to read this stuff in the hotel room for hours. Be laying on the bed, propped up on some pillows. I'd be reading this thing. And I'd fall asleep. And I'd have a good dream. I'd wake up laughing. Why? I have my own opinion on that, but you ought to try that. I'm not talking just a couple of minutes, man. God says He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. It's in the word here, man. Diligently seek Him, not the ho-hum Christian. Oh, it's coming up to be Christmas. I think I'll go to Mass. What is a Mass, anyway? What the heck is that? I have no idea. All that garbage that they do. Listen. He doesn't have any other name. All the names of all that other stuff. Allah, Buddha. And I guess there's other ones, but those are the only two that come to mind because they're killing people. Anyway, God's waiting for you. I'll be back some other time. You talk with Him.